Now, to seal the ceremony in front of all you witnesses, these two must exchange objects of known value, which is why Jewish wedding rings are not supposed to have any precious stones on them. They're made of precious metal only, so we can go down to the local jewelry store, put them on the scale, and see if they're worth the minimum amount. Okay? So,
lest the diamond be cubic zirconia.
Right. That's this, the gems are always a matter of judgment, but
gold is gold.
Gold and silver are gold and silver. You can't. But they each have to own their ring that they give to the ring they give to the other. Jason, do you own this ring?
Yes.
Okay. Phyllis, do you own this ring?
Yes.
Okay. Jason, would you place the ring on Phyllis's finger and say to her these words: Harei at mikudeshet
li
betabat zo kedat Moshe v'Yisrael. By this ring, you are consecrated to me, as my wife, in accordance with the religious law of Moses and the people Israel. Phyllis, would you place the ring on Jason's finger and repeat after me? Harei ata Mekudash
li
betabat zo kedat Moshe v'Yisrael. By this ring, you are consecrated to me, as my husband, in accordance with the religious law of Moses and the people Israel. Kadesh. And now we will read the Ketubah, the wedding contract that the couple and the witnesses signed just before the ceremony. And I did too. But my signature isn't essential. No, it's just not essential. The witnesses are Rabbi Ori V'ishi and Larry, where are you? There, Larry Small. Thank you. You did sign this, didn't you, Larry? Did you sign this?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I signed it too. Did you sign this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, it's in Hebrew and in English. I'm just going to read the English now because the Hebrew gets rather long and it's all the same anyway on both sides. On the first day of the week, Sunday is the first day of the week, the 26th day of the month Menachem Av, that's the Hebrew month, in the year 5756, that's the Hebrew date, corresponding to the secular date of 11th August 1996 CE, in the city of and the countryside of Chadron, Nebraska, United States of America, there came before us the undersigned, the groom, Raphael Michael Ben Aria Vashira Yerushalmi Bloomberg, and that's the groom, and the bride, Ohuva Riva Bat Binyamin Vaselma Seibel. The groom, Jason M. Bloomberg, made the following declaration: Be sanctified to me as my wife according to the traditions of Moses in Israel, and I will love, honor, and respect you. I will provide for you and sustain you as is proper for a Jewish husband to do for his wife. And the bride accepted his words. The bride, Phyllis R. Seibel, made the following declaration: Be sanctified to me as my husband according to the traditions of Moses in Israel, and I will love, honor, and respect you. I will provide for you and sustain you as is proper for a Jewish wife to do for her husband. And the groom accepted her words. The bride and groom hereby enter into the sacred covenant of marriage called Kiddushin in Jewish tradition, and agree to establish a Jewish home together according to the traditions of our people. An expression of their acceptance of this Ketubah, the groom, Raphael Michael, and the bride, Ahuva Riva, have affixed their signatures to this document in the presence of witnesses undersigned in accordance with the traditions of Judaism, and everything herein is valid and proper and signed by the people mentioned beforehand. May there be peace in their home, confidence and serenity in their hearts. And all of you, and here, Phyllis and Jason, hold out your hands together and grab it and pull it towards you. It is now yours. You can give it back to me, but it's now everybody saw that they grabbed it, right? So it's theirs. Now, they just lent it back to me for convenience sake. We don't want them encumbered when they have to embrace each other. Now we come to the second part of the ceremony, and we will start with the second cup of wine.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We're going to let people share with us.
Yes, right. Oh, you were going to recite.
Right.
Shift change.
Shift change. Okay. Right. We got so into this doing it that we forgot. The bride and groom want to read a passage
She'll tell you what she
to each other. This is from Sharei Habayit, the gates of the house, our prayer book for the home.
We recite this to each other each Shabbat, each Sabbath. And this is from Proverbs 31. A woman of valor, seek her out, for she is a treasure beyond rubies. Her husband trusts her, and they cannot fail to prosper. All the days of her life, she is good to him. She opens her hands to those in need and offers her help to the poor. Adorned with strength and dignity, she looks to the future with cheerful trust. Her speech is wise, and the law of kindness is on her lips. Her children rise up to call her blessed. Her husband likewise praises her. Many women have done well, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty short-lived, but a woman loyal to God has truly earned praise. Give her honor for her work. Her life proclaims her praise.
Blessed is the man who reveres the Lord, who greatly delights in God's commandments. His descendants will be honored in the land. The generation of the upright will be blessed. His household prospers, and his righteousness endures forever. Light dawns in the darkness for the upright, for the one who is gracious, compassionate, and just. He is not afraid of evil tidings. His mind is firm, trusting in the Lord. His heart is steady, he will not be afraid. He has distributed freely, he has given to the poor. His righteousness endures forever. His life is exalted in honor.
And now is a time for others who wish to share any words to come up and do so. I will ask, however, first for any people who would you like a shift change on the Chuppah poles? If you feel strong today, come up and switch guards. Come on, I mean, they're team.
This is a poem called The Chuppah by Marge Piercy. The Chuppah stands on 4 poles. The home has 4 corners. The Chuppah stands on 4 poles. The marriage stands on 4 legs. 4 points loose the winds that blow on the walls of the house. The south wind that brings the warm rain, the east wind that brings the cold rain, the north wind that brings the cold sun and the snow, the long west wind bringing the weather off the far plains. Here we live open to the seasons. Here the winds caress and cuff us contrary and fierce as bears. Here the winds are caught and snarling in the pines, a cat in a net clawing, breaking twigs to fight loose. Here the winds brush your face soft in the morning as feathers that float down from the dove's breast. Here the moon sails up out of the ocean dripping like a just washed apple. Here the sun wakes us like a baby, therefore the Chuppah has no sides. It is not a box. It is not a coffin. It is not a dead thing. Therefore, the chuppah has no walls. We have made a home together, open to the weather of our time. We are the mills that turn in the winds of struggle, converting fierce energy into bread. The canopy is the cloth of our table where we share fruit and vegetables of our labor, where our care for the earth comes back and we take its body in ours. The canopy is the cover of our bed, where our bodies open their portals wide, where we eat and drink our love, where the skin shines red as a swallowed sunrise, as we burn in one furnace of joy, molten as steel, and the dream is flesh and flower. Oh my love, we dance under the chuppah standing over us, like an animal on its four legs, like a table on which we set our love as a feast, like a tent under which we work, not safe, but no longer solitary, in the searing heat of our time.
Thank you. Doesn't have to be polished, friend. Well, then I'll say something. Not polished. Phyllis and Jason, I know of no more romantic story than yours. We have this image that romance happens to all these very fancy people when they're very young. You're not very young. It's still very romantic. You're not very fancy people. You're down to earth and real, and yet you happen to each other. There's a Yiddish word called BeSheRT, fated, meant for each other, but not fated as if fate was some implacable force, impersonal, without knowledge of those whom it was affecting. It's said when a Roman woman asked one of the rabbis what God had been doing since the seventh day of creation. I mean, he put out a lot of work in 7 days there. 6 days he worked, 1 day he rested. What has he been doing since? And the rabbi said he's been making marriages. That's what BeSheRT means. BeSheRT means that God made this relationship. Well, you made it too. Every marriage, you exchange 2 rings, but there's a third invisible partner. It's not me. It is the ever-present one who stands with you under the chuppah and should stand with you all of your lives together. And the ever-present one somehow knew that these 2 unusual people who had strange lives, unconventional as America calls them, would find each other in rural Chadron, Nebraska, and marry under a chuppah here on an August day in the beautiful outdoors. I remember when I first found out about all of this. I'd known Jason for years, but we hadn't seen each other for 12 years or so.
And then if you would please bless us back with these blessings and many more, and all of us that are still looking for our BeSheRT, for our intendeds who need that blessing. Please bestow that blessing upon all of us here. And